Hey everyone, welcome to this week's episode of High Heels to Happy Feels. I'm Stephanie,
And I'm Natalie.
and we're from Immersive Spirit. And this week we're going to dig in. Natalie, if you follow our dailies, had a really good daily today that we were like, oh my gosh, look, that's our podcast topic. That's so fun. Of course it is, right? Because we're going to talk about comparison. So we do it all the time. We compare ourselves to others. We compare ourselves to whether it's social media, your neighbors, that whole keeping up with the Joneses. And so we're going to dig into that a little bit and say, why is it that someone succeeds and you feel left behind? Why is it that you're uncomfortable with that? Yeah, and really dig into that emotion, right? And see what that's like and use we've got some tools for it that we'll talk about at the very end. But what's the compass you can be following versus living in that whole comparison mode? Nat, your thoughts.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point because I think that's like going to be the key to the whole podcast is that we need to turn it from a comparison to a compass because everybody has been in these situations. Whether you see a social post where somebody, and social posts are often the best of somebody's life, but you see some great promotion or something, great is happening for somebody else. And you think to yourself, why isn't that me? And your stomach flips. And then you start feeling guilty because then you're wondering, why should it be me? Like all of the things that we go to. So we're trying really to turn it from a comparison to really being a compass because it's just your soul being like, you're on, you're interested in this. You're on that path too. So you can't let those low vibe things happen.
Ah, and you said something that is so uh, people say it, people know it, but they never remember it when they're stuck in that moment of that emotion that no one is posting their bad day. Well, okay,
Right.
most are not posting their bad day on social media. There are those that that's all that they post because life's a pity party and that's where they get their love is on socials. But for 90%, 95%, all they're going to post to you is, oh, my meal was perfect and all this and that. But 90% of the time, they could be eating top ramen. I mean, you just don't know what goes on
Yeah.
outside of that. You don't know what goes on behind the closed door of your next door neighbor. You don't know what it is that's happening in your boss's office. And maybe you really don't want to be in their shoes, right? But I totally agree with you because it's not your ego, it is feedback.
It absolutely is. Well, and the comparison aspect of it, this and Stephanie, I think, said it last episode. We say it every episode, but really, this is going to be about the shadow work.
Yeah.
When we're comparing ourselves to others and we're upset by it, like we have this guilt or we have this shame, where, we're like, oh, they don't deserve that. Anything that comes up for us, we really need to peel back our own judgment because we're going to find a lot of information about ourselves when we step back from the judgment and ask ourselves those really tough questions.
I totally agree. What triggered it, right? You're so right. I mean, what is it? I mean, everybody hears it from me every single episode. But what triggered you? What is it about that image, that post, that message they sent, that outfit they're wearing, the car they're driving, the house they live in, the job you think they love? What is it about that that was triggering for you? Which actual piece and digging into that? And what do they have that you deeply want? Want being the first keyword, right? Versus a need. But what do they have that you think it is that you want? And why are you, then the last thing is why are you waiting for that permission? I mean,
Yeah.
we've talked about this before with another instance where one of our members and we met with him and we was talking with him last year and it was around why are you waiting for permission to start something you know you want to do? Just tell your guides and they'll let you know. It's the same thing, right? It's the same thing. What are you waiting for permission for on something that you've already earned?
Yep, exactly. Well, and I think that we make, just as a society, we make a lot of judgments. And then in those judgments, we make a lot of assumption,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
especially because we're so set with expectations. Like you have to go to high school, you have to go to college, you
Hmm.
have to get good grades, and then you have to go, like, you just have to keep extending yourself and you never really know what you're extending yourself for. So when you're looking at these paths and these things that have happened on social media, or somebody has something that you think you deserve or that you want yourself, and we make a lot of assumptions about how they got there,
Right.
and then say, I'll never be able to because I went to trade school, I didn't go to university.
Right. That it's ah, and it's crazy because half of it's programming, like you were just talking about, right? I have to do this, I have to do this. These are the steps I'm told I have to take. Well, who said? Who said?
Exactly.
First, I'm because does that feel like your path? Does that feel like the way you're supposed to go? Is that where your soul resonates? Is that light you up? And if it doesn't, get the hell off that path. That's not your path. I mean, right? That's crazy. But
Yeah.
that's the programming. And then the other part is then you have to remember that what you are doing that you love is at your pace. It's your journey. They might have started 10 years before you did to get where they are. Or they could luck into things a little easier, right? But they might have a really hard time with something that you luck into that they wish they could do. You just don't know what's in somebody else's mind or in their heart.
You
Yeah.
know, um, so I'm just lots of things are coming to me right now, and I'm not sure
Right?
whose voice it is, and I'm not going to sit with it and try to figure it out.
Yep.
But there's been a lot of on our social posts recently about walking your own path, being on the path less traveled, which I think is totally true. But a real world example, when we got hired into the software industry, and Steph and I were bartenders at the time, and we lucked into it, and I really lucked into it because, her smile got me hired. But
Ah,
yeah, it was, yeah, totally crazy. So we know that we had some luck there. But I remember giving my notice at the place I was working, and there were people there who were almost angry with
uh-huh.
me. Like, I remember him turning around and saying, "You are doing this? Like, what's your background?"
Right?
And that is exactly the stuff I'm talking about. Yes, I lucked into it. And yes, I think that he was studying it at uni for this like software stuff and could like there was no comprehension. But that's just because I was on a different path and I honored my path and we went for it wholeheartedly. I don't know where this person is today, but I kind of think back to that conversation and I feel bad for them. And had I been in reverse shoes, I would have felt very much the same.
Well, and I think we have had moments like that where you
True.
look at somebody and go, seriously? I mean, yeah, how did you get that? How did you score that? How did, and we don't know. I mean, for us, what people didn't realize is that we did do training at home with our mom, and she did spin up this program for us so that we could learn on the weekends, and we spent the time doing it. What the guy that hired us saw was initiative and drive. And that initiative and drive, he's like, I can teach the software. I can't teach the initiative and the drive and your passion and your attitude. And
Right.
that was it. Can you get hired like that in software today? Not so much. But it was timing,
Well,
right?
but that was our path.
It
That was,
was our path. It was
yeah.
beautiful timing. It's everything it was supposed to be for us, and that we were able to do it together, which is exceptional. I mean, there is just it's an anomaly. But everybody's little lucky thing, and you've got your lucky star moments or anomalies. And you have to
Well,
think about that.
and add on top of that, and we're not going to go too deep into it, but just everything you do is soul led. So I was manifesting being a flight attendant,
Yeah, that's
for
right.
many, many years. And Stephanie and I, we moved down into a different area. Like we've hung out our whole lives.
Yeah.
We've actually been best friends our whole lives. We're not lying about that.
Yep.
So we moved together to another city, and this was 30 years ago. And I got hired as a flight attendant, was super excited. And then I was like, oh, I don't want much like the work. And this software, like I was still manifesting that. And so the job that we did get ended up letting us travel every week. Like I flew like we were flight attendants.
Yep.
So anyway, I mean, that's just to add on, like you just let things unfold for your path.
Right. Because you got to be travel a as a customer. And so you
Right.
got to experience the traveling all the time without the having to work while you're in the air. So
And
yeah,
that's ultimately what I wanted was was being on the
was
plane, the
being able to
travel,
travel. You just didn't know how to create
right.
that, right? You were like, okay, so if I want to travel all the time, a travel agency or, working as a flight attendant is the way to go.
Because that's
Yeah,
what we were told. That was my
right,
expectation. That was the
right,
only thing I was going to be able to do. And,
yep,
Spirit was like, hey, sit down and watch this.
right.
Don't
And
focus on the outcome.
nope. And my degree was in, communications, and it's like I always wanted to be a public speaker. I had every intention of being when you see spokesperson for the Pentagon, spokesperson for, I was, because my mom worked at Coors, and this was when Coors was still owned by the Coors family. So
Mhm.
let's go back several decades. But I had every intention I'd be the spokesperson for Coors. I just, yep, I'm going to do it because I can talk and I can get up in front of a camera and look right at it and tell you whatever you want to hear and throw some
Folks,
smiles and
did she
sunshine
just tell
your way.
us she could talk? Like, we don't know that.
Right? I know.
Okay, sorry.
Wah, wah. Okay. All right. But yes, my parents were like, well, yeah, why wouldn't you get a degree in bullshit? You're good at it, you know? So it's kind of a natural. Did I think software ever?
Mm.
Not once. Never.
Yeah,
And here we
straight
are
from the outcome.
almost 30 years later, because that was in 98 we started there, right?
Yep.
Yep, 98. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so crazy. But
later.
this helps us take perspective for other people. I mean, there's
We
still
get it.
envy and there's still things that come up in us when we're like, really? You're picking that person? But
Oh,
that's their path. Like they didn't expect an outcome. They're just living it, you know?
right. And the jealousy's rampant because there's a million people along our life here that have asked, how do we do that? How do we work from home? How do we get that job? Can you teach me? And it's like, it's not it. But then I look at these people and I'm like, look at your beautiful family. Look at these children you've raised. Look at where you've been to. Look at your marriage. There's certain trade-offs. There are. And
Yeah.
so I look at that and go, okay, this is just our path. It is. It's totally our path. And I think that goes on to something that we talked about and we took a few notes because this was a cool conversation for us. But it isn't envy, it's a ghost.
Yep.
And I think that is so powerful because that ghost is you. It's that version of you that you abandoned to stay safe.
Yep.
Now you got to look at it and say again, it's all back to the digging in a little bit and being a little more philosophical with yourself as to why did you choose to stay safe? Why did you choose to do and make those choices versus getting way outside your comfort zone? Because that's what this person may have done that you're admiring.
Right. That
Hmm.
and it's really good to take a retrospective and really appreciate and have gratitude for the path that you have walked because
Hmm.
that's who you are today and you're an amazing individual. So,
Yes. Oh my gosh, right?
yeah.
I mean, each one of us is so amazing in our own way. This thing's driving me crazy. Um, Everybody is so amazing in their own capacity, and it's choices. It's all, I mean, I've said this before in a podcast that I used to tell my former stepkids, even not making a choice is a choice. That's a
Yep.
choice to not jump, to not go down that road, to not step out of your comfort zone. Yeah.
If you
So
don't
what did you,
engage, you're
yeah,
not you're making a choice to not engage.
right. What did you abandon to stay safe? What did you do? And yeah.
Well, and there's a lot of alchemizing in that. So
Oh,
you hit this trigger point of this jealousy, this envy, wherever you're at, or maybe you're just seeing a path and you're like, I would really like to do that. Doing all of that work, the shadow work, the finding the blind spots and shifting to a strategy from wherever you're at. That's a spell. That's a movement. That's a choice that you're making. And I think it's really hot, really like turning jealousy into clarity, turning shame into reckless abandon running your path. That's magic. And it's quiet and it's potent and it's already inside of you. So run with it.
oh, I love that. It is so true, right? You need to notice what's already there. You need to take advantage of what's already rising within you and and jump because it could be, and if what you're seeing from somebody else inspires you, You need to let it inspire you instead of focusing on why them. Be like, ooh, why not me? Right? Why not me? Why can't I go do this? And there's no reason you can't. None at all. I mean, this is back to, um, and I know we'd kind of taken this out of the note here, but let me let them. Let me be successful. Let me go do these things. Let me be responsible for my actions. Let me uh, do these things. Let them go do their job. Let them go do their thing. It's not about you.
And that's a really healthy place to take it from because when you step back and you see the two different paths and you understand that it's okay and you let them succeed and you
Mhm.
cheer for them and you love them and you're compassionate for their path, but also give yourself permission to succeed and to take your space that you need to do what you want to do. So it's a very healthy way to look at things and, walk through those triggers, figure it out because you will be healthier as you continue to go forward because you need to know what belief or wound was poked. And I think that's a really safe way to look at it. When you're mad or you're angry and you can't even take time to step back, try to get curious. And
Mhm.
it's kind of a funny way. Okay, who just poked me? And what did they poke?
Right?
Yeah,
And
it's like being stung by a bee.
yeah, it's a sting and it's a quick prick and it's a pain and you don't understand why. Okay, ask why. Why does that bug you? Why is this annoying to you? Why is this bothering you? Why? Why is it we all see all these, you're seeing green of jealousy and when that's not really it. It's really just about you. And what action can you be taking for yourself to be a better version of yourself and celebrate people? We want to lift each other up in our successes. That's what it should be. Everyone should be everyone else's biggest advocate, biggest cheerleader. I mean, we have those crazies in the world. It's really hard to get behind. We all know that. But when somebody is really succeeding well, anything from weight loss, making lots of money, anything that's really obvious that you see, or that they are just a joyful, happy person, say, ooh, I love it. I love your energy. I love this about you, and I'm so excited for you. And I can't wait to be more like you. And honor it, right? Don't be jealous of it. Tell them, reward them, celebrate them, and let them celebrate you for everything that you already are as well. Because
Right.
that it just, yeah, comparison spirals. And if you are comparing yourself, you can spiral it into something really negative and something that is very harmful for you to where you just go down, down, down. And pretty soon all you're doing is scrolling social media looking for everything that's better about everybody else. Or you take that and make it your vision board and go, ooh, I like that. Ooh, I like what they color they did on their house. Get down to, is it the house that you love or is it the trees in front of it? Is it the car that they're driving or is it just that it's an old hot rod and you want one too? I mean, get into that and create a vision board so you can go do it. Get out there and do it.
Yeah, and do it. And like, okay, so again, Steph and I've been on this path for a really long time. And I just want to share with you that this has been true even like very recently for me. This is a really big lesson to learn is to allow others to be themselves and allow yourself to like get on, take your actions, do your thing. Because living on the expectations and taking yourself outside of those expectations, that's hard to do. Our society drives by those expectations. So, like Steph said, do mind maps, do vision boards, do mood boards, do anything that is going to unlock your potential for yourself so you see it. So, when you look in the mirror, you see the version of success that you want to be
It's so true.
and let others tell others. Well, I don't know. I kind of have a feeling about that too. Like sometimes you can't tell people what you're working on until it happens,
Yeah.
but you have your people. Like I can tell my sister anything. She's never going to judge me. She's never going to get in competition with me. Like she's just going to support me. And I know you have those people in your life too, folks. So find those people and share about your dreams and let somebody boost you and lift you and call you and be like, "Oh, you're kind of a bitch today. You need to
Right?
maybe take a step this way." And it's helpful, even though it hurts sometimes, but it's like they're doing it for your good. So get your group is what I'm saying.
Hmm. And it is, and that's right, because she and I can have those candid conversation. It's like I can tell by a look. I'm like, ugh, today's not a good day for this, is it? What's going on? Nothing. I don't want to talk about it. Um,
Okay.
are you sure? Yes. Okay. You'll tell me later? Yeah. Okay. It's
Yeah, or
giving
we just
space.
don't talk at all. It's like,
Right. It's honoring
not
that though.
today.
And it's recognizing that sometimes it's just the wrong time. And that's okay too. But when you're thinking about this for yourself, number one, it's you are your own best friend. So
Hmm.
when you're doing your gratitudes in the morning, even or in the evening, and you're writing those gratitudes, write down some of those things that you were lucky about, or that you fell into, or that you're really good at. Be grateful because somebody else is coveting that from you and doesn't understand that by just loving on that and embracing that about themselves, they don't understand that philosophy around that yet. So if you're accepting that and saying, "Oh, but this is where I really shine." Maybe you're an excellent baker or a cook. Maybe you're an amazing singer. Maybe I don't know, maybe you have a green thumb, right? There's so many different things. There's so many ways we all give to the world. Focus on yours, and then as you're focusing on and seeing what you like about other people, how does that become and meld into your reality? So in your gratitude, you're writing, what am I grateful for right now? In your manifestations, you're manifesting who it is you want to become.
And take one step. Like
Yes.
always be taking a step towards the version of you that you want to be.
Yep.
Yeah.
And sometimes that version of you is going to need a nap. So that's okay too. That does not mean you need to be stepping 24/7, right? Sometimes you have to just be, and that's okay. Because
Yes, it is.
yeah, that was my day yesterday. I'm like, there is nothing coming through, nothing, anything, nothing work getting done. It's just I'm gonna be, and that's fine. And okay, so
And
you gotta
fair.
just yeah, you have to. We're still in a human experience, and that's where this jealousy and the this the as the Bible refers the seven deadly sins. So as you think of those sins and how they're perceived, it's really taking that and recognizing that it's not. It is a perception that is internal of ourselves that we have a choice to change. And so make this the opportunity right now to change that about yourself and to make this a conscious choice of something you're going to do. And it's about living in alignment with yourself, right?
Well,
Being
and
in
if you
that
and if
alignment.
you can't get to that point, do what her partner does and do that spit thing and let it drain out your ear.
Yeah,
'Cause-
and he'll do this. Even last night I was standing talking to him about something, and I just went a whole bunch of stuff, and I looked at him. I go, "Okay, babe, you can now," and he'll literally just and it's out, gone,
and that's a fair movement. Like if
right,
if this is all just you're like step action, what envy, what are you talking about?
right,
You can spit it out because every day starts a new page and you get to write that page every day. We just ask, like, take an action towards the
yeah.
version of yourself you want to be and support others for where they're at and
And
try to
sometimes that
identify
is
how
your
you,
action, right?
yeah,
Sometimes that is your action, is to just be supportive of somebody else. That might be your action of the day.
true.
Because practicing that kindness could be what is helping you develop something else, and you don't realize it.
And there's a lot of chaos. So it's great because immersivespiritliving.com is a great website that Steph has spun up, but it contains our 5 free tools. And if you guys are worksheet folks or you are process folks, you want to process through your feelings, there are some really awesome things in there that can help you work through some of this. It asks journal prompts and it has tool and it's just amazing. But specifically on this topic, there is a mind reclamation kit that is just coming up for me because it can get you aligned with where you want to be. And kind of help you figure all of this out and map it out and take that next step on your path.
Completely agreed. And I'll take credit for the website, but gotta say, Natalie created these tools for this. I mean, we came up together with the 5 tools and so on, but she came up with the really great worksheets, and they're so good. They're really good. And doing those exercises, they're free, people. Free, free, free.
They're free. They're workbooks. Like it's like walking into an airport bookstore, and I know you guys do this too. And you're
Yep.
like, I'm going to find that self-help journal.
Yep.
This one is free and it's immersivespiritliving.com and
Yes.
you'll find so much detail there. You're going to be like, "Oh my gosh, we have people in our community who are like, this is a little overwhelming."
Right.
And the 5 free tools are really born of the stuff that Steph and I have worked years to put together.
Mhm.
So we tried to get a starting path where where we're meeting folks where they need to be and where they're at, and hopefully engaging them in the right way to make everybody move towards their soul-led path because we think it's important.
Totally agree.
All right. You got anything else, Steph?
No, I would echo this with just reminding people you're not broken, you're not late, um, you're not less than, you're waking up, and your soul is right on time.
So from high heels to happy feels, we will see you next Saturday or in our community. Have a great week.
Bye bye.